What's up, guys? Welcome back, man. Thanks for taking the time to spend a little time with me, man. Just wanted to let you guys know, as you can see, I'm on the set of Terrible Towel Tuesday. That will be available, guys, tonight or tomorrow, however you view it, at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Terrible Towel Tuesday will be available for your viewing pleasure, guys. And of course, for you guys that don't know what that is, you know, every week I give a recap on the Steelers' performance, whether win or lose, and I sometimes talk about the upcoming event just to give you a preview. In the Terrible Towel Tuesday, you will see for this week I will recap the game in Kansas City and, you know, just give my thoughts, and as well as I will also talk about the upcoming game against the New England Patriots. So there you have it. Now, I wanted to talk right here, guys. Just, I wanted to do this separate. I didn't want to put this in the Terrible Towel Tuesday segment. I want to talk about the Antonio Brown video on Facebook Live and the Mike Tomlin situation. Just wanted to give my quick thoughts on it, guys. Here's how I look at it. And I wanted to say this, and some of you guys will get what I'm saying. That's actual locker room talk. Not what we were told a month or so ago what locker room talk is. You guys know what I'm saying. But anyway, just a few jokes there, guys. But yeah, that was locker room talk. As far as Tomlin, I'm dealing with Tomlin first and his comments. Now, let me say this. Some people may not appreciate him cursing or what have you. And, I've seen comments with some people saying, oh, I didn't know he was so foul-mouthed, and saying, oh, he's a bad person. Really? Come on. How many of you guys have been in a locker room, have played sports, and talked about a team or whatever? And let me address that point first. If you really look at what Mike Tomlin said, if you read it or if you were able to see the video, I know the video is taken down as far as Facebook, but if you read what he said or if you saw it, he did call them, I don't curse on this channel, but he did call them a-holes. But the way he said it, guys, it wasn't like he was being overly derogatory. And let me explain my point. It's a difference if I was to say, man, you're an a-hole, then if I was to be like, man, this is crazy, man, this a-hole over here, that dude be tripping. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, Tomlin did say that, but he was basically just referencing them, just like as if he was saying those bums or those suckers or whatever. That was just the terminology he used. He wasn't being blatantly derogatory, like he's sticking his middle finger up at them or something like that. But listen to the context of what he said. He was like, man, we gave them those blanks a day and a half, worth of a lead as far as preparations, because they're done. They played Saturday or what have you. And he said, shoot, we're not going to land till effing 4 in the morning, blase blah. And then right after that, so be it. Then we get right to it. And he was like, he basically told them, let's keep our head, do what we have to do, and then we're gonna get on that when we see them. Really, that was just a motivational thing to his team. So if you have a problem with what he said, it's like you're reading too far into what he said. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, honestly, some people don't curse. Y'all know me, I don't like cursing in person. I don't even cuss, I don't curse too much, even just in regular day. I try to refrain from that because, it's just not my normal speech, so to speak. But it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to condemn somebody because they curse. We've heard worse than that. You guys watch comedians. You know what I'm saying? You saw, and this is the funny thing, you saw Bill Belichick himself curse on national television. We all read his lips when he was talking about the timeout. Y'all remember that? I'm sure most of you watched the game when he said, time the out. And even the commentators was like, oh, well, I can read lips. And he's like, yeah, but just don't tell me what he said. So it's like, don't sit there and act like this man, Tomlin is this bad guy because of what he said. That's locker room talk. I'm sure Bill Belichick has said the same. I'm sure Rex Ryan has said the same. Or any of these coaches. It's locker room stuff. You're talking to your guys about your opponent. No disrespect, like you're saying F these guys, but it was just like a slang term that he used. Yes, a-hole is cursing them, but y'all understand what I'm saying. That's how I took it, because I read the full context of what he said. And trust me, I'm not saying this because I'm a Steelers fan. Y'all know me. I'm going to call it whether it's right or wrong. I'm not going to be biased. I read it. I was like, nah, I don't think it's as bad as how everybody's portraying it. But that's just Tomlin. Now let's talk about Antonio Brown. A little disappointed, man. A little disappointed in it because that video, it definitely showed. I hate saying this about my boy AB, man, because I love AB as a player. You know, most of the players, if not all, would say he's a great teammate and all of that. But all of the stigma, you know, stigmatism on him of him being a self guy and, you know, all about himself, it shows itself in those videos. You know, it was even times when, you know, I didn't see the whole video, but I heard, you know, some of the sportscasters saying that there was a time where Tomlin was talking or praying or whatever, and, you know, AB is still recording and smiling and stuff. And, you know, some of the things that they say about him, his actions kind of show that. You know what I mean? And I don't want that for him because I think he's a phenomenal player. Phenomenal player, but, you know, you don't want to bring those negative clouds around you. You know, I don't think this is going to affect the game. No, that's not an excuse. You know, this should have nothing to do with the upcoming game. Nor do I think it's going to affect Coach Tomlin and Antonio Brown's relationship. However, it's a problem, man, because I'm sure Tomlin didn't really realize what was happening. You know, that this was a live recording, and he probably would have, you know, watched his words, and not because what he said was wrong, but again, if you know that, you know, people are watching, you're not gonna expose some of the other banter that you may have with your boys or stuff that you may say to your team to motivate them. You're not gonna expose that to the world. And even with it being live, he still didn't say anything overly crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Again, you might not agree with him using the word a-hole. You might not agree with him saying effing morning. That's your business. I can't knock you for that. But at the end of the day, his whole total point wasn't overly crazy. It was more so about keeping his boys in line and how him and Ben Roethlisberger had always talked about limiting the social media and things like that. And then Antonio Brown does that. It's like it undermines all of that. And it's just, it's a thing that just didn't need to happen. So I got to put most of the blame on Antonio Brown, man. You know, as much as I love him as a player, you know, wrong is wrong. You know, I'm not going to be biased about the situation. AB shouldn't have done that. Because I don't like live videos and stuff like that anyway. You know, I always make the joke with my wife, even like with FaceTime. You know, that's why I don't always like FaceTime, because FaceTime always puts you in something that you don't even want to be in. Like any of you guys that, you know, have wives or girlfriends or mothers or whoever else, your homeboy, anybody who uses it, how many times has this happened to you? Oh, say hi to so-and-so, and you like, you know, I ain't know that you about, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that stuff, because live videos, anything can happen. And like I said, some stuff should be kept in the locker room. So this is not good, man. And I know some of the guys in the locker room probably ain't feeling that. Again, I don't think it's so crazy to where it's going to divide the locker room or destroy Tomlin's and AB's relationship. No. But it just didn't need to happen. Not during this time. You don't need any distraction, whether it is actually going to affect you or not. You just don't need that this time of year. And I think it was a little petty for him to do that live video. And that's how I feel about it. But again, like I said, man, as far as what Tomlin said, I don't have a huge problem with it. That's just my opinion. I don't care what coach that would have been. I don't care if that would have been Mike McCarthy or, I'm just naming guys. I don't care what coach would have said that and I would have heard that. Belichick, I wouldn't have had no problem with it. No problem at all. That's my opinion. It ain't just because it's Tomlin and it's the coach of the team that I like. I had no problem with what he said, nor would I have had a problem with any other coach saying that, because most of you guys have done the same thing who play sports. You've said that about the other team. Matter of fact, you've heard people in the locker room, like, think about this, your top corner, and they talking about this top receiver. You've heard people yourself be like, man, F him, man, I ain't worrying about him. But it wasn't like he was really being derogatory to him. That's just the speech. You understand what I'm saying? I think most of you guys understand where I'm coming from. You know, that's why, like, when after you play a game, good game, man, da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? But in the moment, you in the moment. that's all Tomlin was doing. So that's what I got on that, guys. So I just wanted to give you my quick opinion. So like always, guys, definitely leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say. When you see the screaming face appear right up here on the screen, go ahead and click that. Go ahead and sub to the channel. And also, guys, I promise you, it will never hurt you to hit the like button. And don't forget, guys, to check out Terrible Towel Tuesday again. Will be available at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. All right, that's all I got. Peace.